Hi, and welcome to Crim News. My name is Social.
And my name is Media. And together,
we are Social Media. Tonight we will be talking about very serious, important news all around the world.
No. You're Social and I'm Media, and it's time to talk about stories.
What kind of stories, Media?
Important stories.
Oh, well, that's just great, Media, because tonight we are meeting with 4 people from Film Club and we are going live!
Live!
Hi, Twitter, where are we?
We're in a brainstorm right now.
Oh, that's pretty exciting. Who are you?
I'm a writer. I do writing with the Film Club.
How do you come up with a story?
Well, in Film Club, we actually all work together to come up with the stories, and it's a really good question. It's one of the really hard parts about it. But one of the things we do is idea generation, which creates a brainstorm. So we try and get as many ideas as we can. So I might ask questions like, what's your favourite thing to eat for breakfast?
Toast.
Toast. What would be the worst thing?
Mashed potato.
Mashed potato. Yeah, that's such an interesting answer. And then maybe we would ask everyone in the group what is their favourite thing and what is the worst thing for them. And then maybe some connections would start to come up. Maybe lots of people hate potatoes, and then suddenly we go, maybe we could make a film about potatoes that attack children in the middle of the night. Or it could be something funny. Maybe the group want to make a funny film. So maybe we ask what is a genre that we could do. Do you remember some of the genres that we worked with?
No.
Maybe like horror? What's one?
Comedy.
Comedy, yeah. Romance.
Fantasy.
Fantasy, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Who writes the script? Is it just you or is it a group with you?
Yeah, it's a mixture. So we work for a while with all of us together. We have like big pieces of paper. We're writing down ideas, and there's no bad ideas. We just write them all down because who knows what could like turn into a good idea. And then someone has to bring it all together into one narrative. So then that's what I do, or that's what the writer does. They bring together all these pieces to make a beginning, a middle, and an end. But we keep talking to the group to make sure they agree, because maybe they have a better idea for a beginning or a better idea for an end. So it's constantly a back and forth. Yeah.
What makes a really good story?
That's a really hard question, and professional writers ask that. They are trying to figure that out all the time. But probably a good way to think about a good story is to think about what you want your audience to feel. So if it's a comedy and you want them to laugh, to make it a good story, you're trying to do as many things that will make them laugh. Or maybe you want them to learn something, so you try and do as many things to make them learn. So understanding what the person who's going to watch your film wants and what you want to tell them, and then try and do that as best as you can all throughout the story.
Do you have to write everything down in a script?
No. It's up to the director, I think, as well, who's going to take the script. If you need to write everything down, like dialogue, maybe you have a script where you need really specific things said, so you'll write them down so that the actors can read them and memorize them. But other directors work with improv, and so maybe you would just write down in the basketball court, and so like the location and the idea of what has to happen at the end, and then they would improvise that together. So some scripts are different, so they have a certain amount of information.
Why do you need a script when you're...
Yeah, that's a good question. Because with film, you have so many people to make it. It's not just one person. So you have lots of people that need to know what's going on at the same time. So a script is kind of like a map, or it's like a blueprint. So the actor knows, the person who's doing sound knows when a piece of dialogue's going to come. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the interview.
That's all right.
Cuts.
Oh. Where are we?
I don't know. Where's our bodies?
Where are our bodies? Did you have any questions you wanted to ask me?
Yes. Are you that director?
Maybe.
Okay. What does a director do, and what is the director's job?
That's a very good question. A director is the person that gives directions on set. So they have a script and they have the whole story in their head and they've visualised how it's going to happen, and then they've got all these people that they're going to work together to make that into a film. So they need to make sure that the actors are in the right positions and that they're saying the right lines, that the lighting is going to work for the mood. They're working with the cinematographer or the camera person to make sure that they've got the right frame. So they're in charge of making the film on set.
Okay. What are the steps of a director, and do you enjoy being a director?
I definitely enjoy being a director. It can be a bit stressful at times because you've got so many things happening, but that's also what makes it really exciting when it all comes together. The steps are, you mostly shoot different scenes at different times in different locations, and so you would probably get all the actors that are in the scene together and you would rehearse that first with them, like going through the lines and where they need to stand, and then you'd bring in the lighting and the cinematographer and you choose which shot you're going to do, and so you've got to make sure it works with the framing of the shot, and you need to bring in sound as well, so you've got the sound person so they can get their mic in, and then you practice that until you're all ready, and then you go for a take, and then you do as many takes until it's done, and it's the director that says action and cut.
Okay. Thank you for your time and your answering.
How would you describe what a cinematographer does during the making of a film?
So a cinematographer basically makes the film happen. So we take the vision that the director has and we then use a camera and film it and make it a reality.
What types of things do you need to do before you start filming?
Probably the most important thing to do before you start filming is to sit down with the director and look at the script and break down each scene and each shot and to plan it out into a shot list. So you have a really organised list of what you need to get, what kind of a shot size it is, what kind of action is happening, and all of those details so you're nice and prepared.
What sort of equipment do you use?
So you can use anything from cameras all the way down to phones or iPads. And so when we work with Film Club, we use lots of different things, but generally iPads and phones because they're easy and everyone tends to have access to one. Really anything that films you can use to make a film with. So there's no restrictions there.
Which film team members do you need to work with the most?
Probably the member that I work with the most would be the director. So we talk together a lot to make sure that what I'm filming for them is exactly what they want. And then next down from that is probably the camera assistant and lighting team.
Do you need to film a scene or a shoot more than once?
Yes, generally yes. Unless you're really lucky and you're what we call a one-take wonder, you do have to do it more than once. And it's just a matter of repeating the shot until you get it perfect.
How do you know when a shot looks right?
Well, generally it's when it looks exactly how you've planned it, or as close to that as you can get. But there's a lot of intuition in that, and I think it's just when it feels right and you know that you've kind of hit the mark on all the things that you wanted to achieve.
What other important tips do you have?
Probably the best tip I can give budding cinematographers is just to experiment and go out there and try new things, try new angles, and watch as much film as you can and see what they do in those films, and then see how you can maybe incorporate that into your own filming.
Okay, can we talk about editing?
Yes, we can.
What does an editor do?
So an editor is the person that once you've filmed the entire film, all the shots are given to them, and they then log it and cut it and create the film as you see it as a final product.
How does the process begin?
So the first thing you need to do is log all the footage, which is basically tagging everything with maybe what scene it is or what's happening in it, and just organising it so you know where everything is. And then from there you start to compile it into the order that the script says that it should be.
What do you edit into or out of the film?
So that's generally a decision that you make depending on the script, and it's also something that you'll work with the director to decide. But yeah, sometimes the editor can have their own creative take and maybe add shots that weren't meant to be in there to change it, or take shots out. So it's really a collaboration between the editor and the director.
What types of programs do you use?
Yeah, so there's lots of different programs you can use. I personally tend to use a few different ones depending on who I'm working with. So I use anything from Final Cut to Premiere to After Effects, but something that's really easily accessible for everyone is iMovie, and you can use that and edit on that. You can even get programs on your phone that you can edit a film with.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What is the difference between an actor and a character?
Well, in the case of Film Club, you are all the actors and you're all going to play a character. So normally the character will be quite different to who you are in real life.
What are the skills an actor needs to use to create a character?
So when you're thinking of creating a character, you can think about a couple of things. You can think about your voice and how you use your voice and how different that is to your natural voice. You can think about how you use your face. It's really great being able to work with film, so we can really zoom into your face and how you express the character's emotion through your face. And then it's also really good thinking about physicality and how you move through space, how you use your body, and how different that is to your own body in real life.
How does an actor learn their lines?
In order to learn lines, sometimes it takes time, but it's really great if you've got a friend or if you've got a family member who can sit by and they can read out the other characters' lines, so then you can fill in your own line and just go through it as many times as you can.
Does a director tell an actor what to do?
A director generally tells an actor what to do. It's really nice to have someone on the outside who can help direct. That's why they're called a director. So yeah, they do tell an actor what to do.
Does an actor make some of their own decisions?
Yeah, it's good if an actor actually can make some of their own decisions, and if they can do lots of research and think about what they want to bring into their character and the role.
When you are acting in a film, do you have to rehearse?
It's really important to rehearse, absolutely. It's good to explore all the different types of ways that you can do a scene, because sometimes you might have an idea of how you think a scene should go until you rehearse it, and then you realise, oh, maybe this could be done in a different way, and sometimes that ends up being better. So it's good to explore all the options that can happen before you do the final take.
What are some other important tips for acting?
I think just doing a lot of background research is really important. Thinking about the backstory of a character, like everything that your character was doing up until the film began, so that you have a really rich understanding of who this person is, and just have fun with it.
Thank you.
That's okay.
Wow, I think we just learned a lot from that, Ayana.
Yeah, now I think we can make better stories.
On a new note, thank you for watching another great episode of Crumb News. We're off to make a film. See you later! Peace.